What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode from Wealth Forward TV. So, why did I call this Finding Vision in the Blind Spot? Well, for everybody that really know me, they know I have great interest in esoteric teachings. I'm talking everything from simple shit like feng shui, the crystals and stones, astrology, numerology, tarot, the Kabbalah, Kundalini energies, Kemetic principles, and so on and so on. So I've always had an interest in these type of things since I was little. It's like something deep inside of me drew me to these type of teachings and knowledge, especially since I had these abilities that most people around me really couldn't relate to or qualify to even help me with what the hell what was going on. So I had to search for these answers on my own because I've always been that type of person. So during one of my many times of learning new practices for enlightenment, I came across a practice called sun gazing. So that's pretty much when you do what they tell you to never do, and that's stare or gaze into the sun. So I was doing this sun gazing for like 20 to 30 minutes every day. And the thing about sun gazing is when you look at the sun, you should only do it during sunrise or sunset hours. Or at least in those windows, not like when it's way up in the sky. Because when you do, it can damage your eye and vision. And I'll get more into that as I continue the story. So anyway, I'm doing this whole sun gazing thing. So the reason I'm doing this in the first place is because it supposedly have like many benefits for your body and to help with spiritual enlightenment. But my biggest motivation was to help decalcify my pineal gland. You know, your third eye. You know, because with all the bullshit we eat, the fluoride in the water and the toothpaste, like it put these calcium deposits around your pineal gland and harden it. And that pretty much limit your ability, you know, to tap in. You know what I'm saying? So I've been doing this for like 3 weeks. So then I think I missed like a day. And then maybe I like missed the next morning. So now I'm rushing. I'm just trying to get it in. So I pretty much ignored what I just told you. And it's like 1 o'clock. So the sun high in the sky, burning bright as shit. So I look up and okay, mind you, I've been doing this every day with no problem. I'm talking about, like, really, it's actually a beautiful thing. It's kind of hard to explain, but I know before I was reading something, and I know it's something where people would say the sun is really black. And I know that sounds crazy, but I'll say this. When I would stare at it, I could at least see why they would say that. Because eventually you'll see like these black shadow movements of energy with flames coming out. I guess kind of like, don't you know, like on a computer, when you got the spinning ball, it would look similar like that, like these shadows and energies moving around. I'm not advising you to do it, but I'm just saying, that's what it looked like. So it's like 1 o'clock, sun up in the sky. I look up immediately. Now, mind you, I've been looking at the sun for like 20, 30 minutes a day, but this time, instantly, 2.2 seconds, like what the fuck? So I remember I go in the house and it was like dark. Like not dark like where it's all black, but dark like if you go in the house in the daytime, but the lights off. But the thing is, the lights was on. So it was weird. So you know, like if you look at a light bulb, you know what I'm saying? You just see the light emitting from it. I wouldn't see the light, I guess, that light up the space, but in the light bulb, don't you know the little wire in the light bulb, I guess the light come from? I would see the electricity going through that. So I came to the conclusion that, all right, you just looked at the brightest fucking thing in the universe. So now you come in the house with these artificial lights and it exposing the power of it. It only lasted like a few minutes, went back to normal. So not even the next day, maybe like a couple days later, I started to notice I had this blind spot in the center of my vision. It was like anything I focus on would just be gone. Like, for instance, if you walking down the street and I'm looking in your face, whatever complexion you were, it's like I couldn't see your face. Your face would just be blank and it would be the color of your complexion. If I'm reading a book, let's say I'm looking at the word cat, the A would be missing. But then if let's say I'm driving and look at something big like a billboard or like the sign to get off the highway and it say like 295. If I'm staring at 295, the 9 would be missing and it'd just be like a green spot. It would literally, whatever the color of the background, that's what I would see. So when I'm saying a blind spot in the center, yeah, it just would, whatever I'm looking at, it's just the center of it would be gone. I know, it's weird. So now I'm like, what the fuck? So after all this, I started doing my own research, like what the fuck going on. So then that's when I found out something called solar retinopathy. And that's pretty much when the sun burns your retina. It's kind of like your cornea is the magnifying glass and it shine through and just burn a hole in your retina. So it's kind of like if your eye's the camera, then the retina, that would be the film in the camera. So imagine if like you burnt a hole in the middle of your film. Like you would see everything around it, but then it'd be like a big fucking blob of nothing in the middle. That's exactly what it was like a big thing of nothingness in the center of my vision. So I schedule an appointment, go to the optometrist at GW. So they run all sorts of tests. So they started out with the basic test. Like, you know, the eye test where you do this, but instead of covering up one eye, you know, they were saying, look. So he like, what's that right there? I'm like, all I see is white. So then he say, well, what's this? So when I go here, I'm like, I don't see what it is that I'm focusing on, but I can tell you it was an E you pointed at first, because it's like, I can still, of course, see the peripherals, and I ain't even say like that far out, more like right here. It's only when I focus. So then he like, okay. They start running all these tests, put something, I don't know, really like a viewfinder. Then they injected some red dye to do, I think it's called like retinal imaging or something. Something like that. Like when they injected it, it was kind of cool because it was almost like I had on red shades because I'm looking at stuff and everything seemed red. But they did it to do the imaging so, you know, they could see, I guess, my blood vessels and all that. So afterwards, she pretty much showed me. So she, like, let's say it supposed to be just a straight like this. She was showing me how in one eye, all that in the middle was missing. On the next eye, all that in the middle was missing. So it was like forming this, it was like a blank spot. And she pretty much was like, that's what's causing your blind spot in the middle. So she didn't call it solar retinopathy. Of course, I told her that I was looking at the sun. I was feeling like a dumbass because she looking like, why the fuck would you be doing that? But they ain't really have an answer for it. Like it's not a lot of, excuse me, my nose be sweating like a mud. I don't know why. But it's not a lot of information on, I guess, how to cure solar retinopathy. So pretty much the final diagnosis was you just gonna have to live with it. They was like, we could schedule something in a month or so, see if it get better or worse. Maybe glasses was an option, and that pretty much was it. So you know me. Yeah, if you know me, you already know I was like, fuck that. I about to figure this shit out on my own. So as soon as I got home, hopped on my laptop, and pretty much this is when the journey began.